Good evening and welcome to the regularly scheduled March 9th meeting of the Commission on the Status of Women. As we all know, this month of March is Women's History Month. President Obama said of women, "With passion and courage, women have taught us that when we band together to advocate for our highest ideals, we can advance our common well-being and strengthen the fabric of our nation." Each year during Women's History Month, we remember and celebrate women from all walks of life who have shaped our world. The President's theme this year is Women Taking a Lead to Save Our Planet. Women who contribute in efforts to preserve and protect the environment. Here in Glendale, we honor women of courage who have overcome obstacles in their lives to become successful, strong women who are good role models to us all. Tonight, we will tell you of the celebration of women that we are planning in our community. And now, may we have roll call, Ms. Haddad?
Commissioner Katafian?
Yes.
Commissioner Lamel?
Yes.
Commissioner Malakian?
Yes.
Vice Chair Manasarian?
Here.
Commissioner Monacut?
Here.
Commissioner Pillsbury?
Here.
Commissioner Sobey?
Here.
Commissioner Walker? Chair Devine?
Here. Next item, please.
Can we please make a statement with a brief report regarding the posting of the agenda? That the agenda for the March 9th, 2009 meeting was posted on the bulletin board outside of City Hall on or before March 6, 2009. Next item on the agenda is a presentation from the Glendale Adventist Stroke Center. I'd like to invite to the podium Nurse Michelle Jackson, an RN, and also the Clinical Program and Stroke Coordinator for the Glendale Adventist Stroke Center. Welcome, Michelle.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here today. My name is Michelle Jackson, and I'm the stroke coordinator at the Neuroscience Institute and Advanced Primary Stroke Center at Glendale Adventist Medical Center. I'm here this evening to present to you tonight a little something about stroke. I will be sharing with you some of the statistics about stroke, how devastating stroke is in causing severe disability, and the financial burden this disease has in our community and in our nation. I will be speaking briefly about what a stroke is, how to recognize the signs and symptoms of stroke, and some of the risk factors that we could modify and recognize in order to prevent a future stroke, as well as some of the treatments available now in treating a stroke. The human cause of stroke. Well, every 45 seconds, someone in America has a stroke. That's 700,000 people every year. That's one stroke every 3.1 minute. Somebody dies of a stroke. That's 163,000 people every year. That could be our friends, our families, maybe even one of us. It is the nation's number 3 cause of death and a leading cause of long-term disability. I have a few statistics here in the Los Angeles County. Stroke is the 5th leading cause of death for people ages 45 to 64, but it is the 3rd leading cause of death for people ages 64 to 74, with being the 2nd leading cause of death for people ages 75 and above for both male and female. In Glendale and in San Fernando Valley, stroke remains the 2nd leading cause of death, and it has increased from 1994 to 2003 data. In women, about 46,000 strokes occur every year, with 22% of men and 25% of women who have the initial stroke die within that first year. This percentage is even higher among people ages 65 and older. So disability from a stroke, this is a very devastating disease because 50 to 70% of stroke survivors, only 50 to 70% of stroke survivors gain functional independence, but 15 to 30% become permanently disabled. 20% of those require institutional care at 3 months after onset. So it's pretty devastating. And also the financial burden of a stroke. The average cost of a new stroke is about $81,000. Again, the permanent disability is pretty striking here with 15 to 30% of all stroke survivors. In the United States, the cost of stroke is about $43.3 billion a year. 53% of those occur for hospital costs and nursing home costs. And loss of productivity is about 35%. So why does it cost so much money? Because I believe that we need to increase public awareness. One of the studies showed that 43% of people did not even know what a single risk factor is for stroke. Overall, about 40% of people or patients that are admitted with a stroke did not even know one sign and symptom of this disease or what risk factors there are for stroke in order to avoid future strokes. The American Stroke Association said that 74% of Americans do not even know the most common warning sign of stroke. And stroke is still quite poorly understood and poorly treated because, again, the lack of public awareness. The National Institute of Neurological Disorders and Stroke says that a fraction of stroke patients each year are getting to the hospital in time. A lot of people don't even know that stroke is an emergency. We need to call 911 and get to the hospital immediately. And this makes a big difference between a permanent disability and one that will gain full recovery from stroke. So what is a stroke? Stroke is when there's a sudden interruption in the blood supply to the brain. There's a failure of blood to circulate in the brain. We also like to call this a brain attack because it occurs suddenly and it requires immediate treatment. There are two common types of stroke. Most common is the ischemic type stroke, where about 83% of this occur, and about 17% are from hemorrhagic or bleeding type strokes. The ischemic strokes, again, 83% due to either blood clot, atherosclerotic diseases, or small vessel disease. So what are some of the stroke risk factors? Some are non-modifiable and some are modifiable. Well, the things that we can work on would be to, number one, stop smoking. Okay, some are because of heavy alcohol use or physical inactivity or sedentary lifestyle, hypertension or uncontrolled hypertension, cardiac diseases, atrial fibrillation, hyperlipidemia or high blood cholesterol, diabetes mellitus, prior strokes, prior TIAs or what's called a mini stroke. And some are non-modifiable, such as our age, our gender, our race, and even our heredity. So if we know what our risk factors are, how many strokes can be prevented? Well, if we had better control of our high blood pressure, we can actually prevent 360,000 strokes of the 700,000 that occur annually. If we had better control of our cholesterol through diet, exercise, taking statin medications, that's 146,000 preventable strokes there. And cigarette smoking, about 89,000. Control of irregular heartbeat or atrial fibrillation, 68,000 numbers of stroke, and heavy alcohol use, 34,000 strokes could be prevented by just controlling and knowing what a risk factor is. Okay, this is very important, is knowing what the signs and symptoms are of a stroke. Okay, number one is sudden weakness of the face, arm, leg, especially if it's on one side of the body. You may see your face and you'll have some facial drooping. Another sign would be sudden trouble walking, loss of balance and coordination. Okay? Another would be sudden trouble seeing. You may have blindness in one or both eyes. Loss of peripheral vision. A big sign that always occurs is sudden trouble speaking or understanding. Your speech might become slurred all of a sudden, or you may have trouble finding your words. You may not be able to even speak at all. Another is sudden headache of unknown cause. A lot of the times you will notice that it's a headache that you may describe it as the worst headache of my life. When you have these warning signs, it's important not to ignore it. We need to call 911 immediately. A lot of the tendency is, I have these signs and symptoms, let me go and take a nap, let me rest. But no, we need to call 911 immediately and get to the nearest emergency room, preferably a stroke center that can treat you for these stroke symptoms. So what can we do? What are the treatments out there? One, there's a medication called TPA. This is a clot-dissolving drug, and we can give this to our patients who have the ischemic type stroke, not for the hemorrhagic type stroke, but for ischemic type stroke where they may be a blood clot or an embolus there. We can give this medication, and it will actually dissolve the clot. Okay, so the benefits of this is that it's the only FDA-approved therapy for acute ischemic stroke. It is a thrombolytic agent, which means it is the only medication that will dissolve the clot and resume circulation to the brain. It restores circulation to ischemic tissue, or that area in the brain that's been damaged. One of the risks for this is bleeding. And the barrier. So if we have treatment for stroke, why are we not treating more and more people with this and prevent death or disability? Because of the lack, again, of public awareness of the stroke symptoms, where there is a delay in recognition of stroke and late presentation to the hospital, and we lose our 3-hour time frame to be able to give this treatment. So one thing about Glendale Adventist Medical Center, very special that happened this March of 2008, is that we became a Joint Commission certified first advanced primary stroke center in the San Fernando Valley. What does this mean to us? What does this mean to our community? What does this mean to our patients? Well, having an advanced primary stroke center means that we have an acute stroke team 24 hours a day, 7 days a week that can assess, that can treat stroke in an emergency. We have an emergency room that has a CT scanner there. We follow American Stroke Association guidelines. We follow standardized order sets. We have specially trained neurologists, neurosurgeons, and nurses that can identify immediately and also know how to treat stroke patients. We give excellent stroke patient and family education, and we also provide a stroke support group for our community. This is an example of an algorithm of what we do when we receive a patient who comes into our emergency room with a suspected acute stroke. We have this algorithm in place. We're able to identify and treat and be able to administer appropriate medications within 60 minutes of arrival in our emergency room. What it also means, being a stroke center, is that we follow guidelines set by the American Heart Association, the American Stroke Association. We follow Get With the Guidelines, which means we have stringent quality improvement in place on how to care for stroke patients. Recently, 2 weeks ago, we were recognized as top stroke hospital in the nation, receiving the Silver Award from the American Stroke Association in San Diego at the International Stroke Conference. So it's very, very special to have this in our community, that we have a hospital that is recognized as being top in the nation. So what is the take-home message? Well, what took you a lifetime to learn can be lost in minutes. Time lost is brain lost. Remember the warning signs of stroke. Thank you so much.
Before we have our next speaker, can I ask if any of the commissioners would like to comment on this excellent presentation?
Actually, I would.
Commissioner Manasarian?
I wanted to thank Michelle. I wanted to thank Glendale Adventist Medical Center, because I'm here as a testimony to testify to the greatness of the Stroke Center, because I was one of the users of it, and they are phenomenal. And the doctors and the staff, I'm just really, really impressed, and I thank you for really being there on time, responding. So whatever she presented today is true and even more. So thank you so much. We really appreciate that.
Anyone else? I think the statistics are alarming, and what I'd like for you to do right now, as quickly as you can, just review the signs one more time.
Okay. Very, very important is, again, the sudden weakness on one side of the body. Okay? Sudden, the key word is sudden. So one side of the body, either facial numbness, drooping, difficulty speaking, finding your words, slurring your speech, difficulty with your coordination or balance. Okay? The severe headache, is also another sign and symptom. So it's very important that we don't wait. Once we see the sign and symptom, recognize this either for ourselves or for our loved ones, that we take them immediately to the emergency room and get treatment right away.
Thank you.
It is an emergency.
I just have a question about the treatment that you mentioned. It's only viable if it's within 3 hours of
With
when
the
the stroke?
ischemic type strokes.
I see.
Yes. Within 3 hours, we actually have a treatment for this. And do I have time to share a story?
Sure.
A month ago, we had a 50-year-old gentleman who was having lunch with their family. He was eating, and all of a sudden, he slumped to the side. Okay? He happened to be about 2 blocks from the hospital. He was brought into our hospital. Within 60 minutes, we were able to assess. He had that facial weakness, drooping. He lost his speech. He was cannot speak at all. Okay, this is a 50-year-old guy, normal, walking, talking, just having, lunch with his family. He went into our emergency room. We recognized the signs and symptoms. He was within the 3-hour time frame. We were able to give this medication called TPA. This TPA medication takes 60 minutes to administer. As soon as that 60 minutes was given, he suddenly started to talk and say, "Nurse, nurse, can you come here? Can you come here?" And then he started moving and he was paralyzed on one side of his body, and he started moving his finger, then his hand, and he started moving it. It was almost a miracle. What could have been for this gentleman to have been not able to speak, not able to eat, maybe a feeding tube, somebody who'd probably end up in a long-term care facility. For such a young person, we were able to change his life. This gentleman went home within 4 days, walking by himself, talking, no residual, because we were able to give the appropriate treatment.
Mr. Sobey?
Are ambulances directed to your hospital if stroke is suspected?
We're
With the
working on
patient?
that now. We're working with the EMS to see whether, that would be a possibility. And our medical director is actually attending all these meetings so that those things could happen. Because if you do have a stroke, you would want to go to a place where you can be treated appropriately.
Commissioner Manasarian?
I wanted to add that, speaking with Dr. Lee, I know he's working with the supervisor, Antonovich, to provide a way of directing all the stroke victims to
How is
this.
it that you were directed to that hospital?
Well, I was very close by. I was very lucky and very blessed. Yeah, I lived about 2 blocks away from the hospital, and at that time, the hospital had just started their stroke center.
Really?
Yeah. So,
Thank you so much.
Commissioner?
I have a question. There are 2 types of strokes, as you said. What is the percentage between both those two?
About
Which one
80
occurs
yeah.
more often than the other one?
About 80% of the time, we receive people with ischemic type strokes.
Yeah.
20% of the time are the bleeds, because either from uncontrolled hypertension, an aneurysm, an AV malformation. There's other reasons for those as well. With the ischemic type strokes, about 80% because of either blood clot, atherosclerosis, plaques forming around the arteries. And those are the ones that we could treat with TPA.
So recovery percentage is better for ischemic type of strokes, right? As I understand.
For the TPA,
Yeah.
that's the only one we could treat with TPA, but we have excellent neurosurgeons, neurologists that can handle both bleeds. And this is a 24/7
Service.
service.
Thank you very much.
Michelle, do you have any statistics on women versus men as far as percentages of strokes? I don't know if I saw that on there.
Until about the age of 75 years old, there are more men with strokes than women. But 75 years old and above, there's now more women than men.
Interesting.
There's many reasons for that. They say women are living longer, or many hormones
Yes.
protect us. Different things.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. And we have another speaker on this topic.
Next item on the agenda is oral comment.
Oh, I thought we had another speaker on stroke.
No, there were 2
Oh.
speakers scheduled, one of whom was not able to make it tonight. so-
okay. Well, I just want to tell Michelle then that I think that we're very lucky here in Glendale to have Glendale Adventist, here for all of us. And we thank you all for your hard work. And congratulations on your award. You're welcome. Okay. Next item on the agenda.
Next item on the agenda is oral comment. Discussion is limited to items not a part of the agenda. Time is limited to an amount to be set by the chair, which is tonight 5 minutes. The commission may question or respond to the speaker, but there will be no debate or discussion. Staff may refer the matter to the proper department for investigation and report.
Okay. Before we have our first speaker, shall we make note that Commissioner Walker arrived?
I'll note it.
Thank you. Okay, our first speaker, Camille Levy, Director of Glendale Healthy Kids.
Good evening, and thank you so much for allowing me the time. I am so pleased that we actually started back in 1993 as a collaborative effort led by Glendale Adventist Medical Center at that point in time to come up with the solution to a problem in Glendale, which was an opportunity for children to have medical, dental, mental health care rather than going to an emergency room. Emergency room costs average about $7,000 a visit. Last year we provided 822 referrals for our children here in Glendale, so times 7,000 minimum. We saved a lot of money to the taxpayers. Glendale Healthy Kids provides access to health care for low-income, underinsured, and offers preventative health education to the community. Low-income, underinsured, these are the individuals who may fall through the cracks because they have high deductibles or no dependent care coverage. This year we're on track to again increase our referrals by 30%. And that's not a surprise due to the economy. What's very interesting is 2 points that I do want to make. Glendale Healthy Kids does not accept or does not solicit any government funding, which allows us to be able to provide services to those who need it the most, our most vulnerable, our children. Secondly, this year we have really seen an increase in the need for mental health therapy. Again, it's not a secret that when the economy goes south, stresses arise in the home, and children feel like they are responsible for those stresses. Glendale Healthy Kids provides whatever is required for that child to reach a healthy state, whether it's pharmaceuticals, prescriptions, therapies, whatever it is. And we don't do that alone. We do that through the blessings and the contributions of the local community, as well as over 250 volunteer healthcare providers, of which Glendale Adventist Medical Center is one, as are Glendale Memorial and Verdugo Hills Hospital. I've left a packet of information at your place, which includes our latest newsletter, several brochures, including one which is our Facts for Families. We find that Glendale Healthy Kids is one of the best kept secrets in the greater Glendale area. And so we developed a brochure in our 4 primary languages to be passed out en masse to let parents know. Interestingly enough, dental referrals tend to come from school and parish nurses. Medical referrals come from parents contacting us directly. This year as well, we have an education program, and we are focused this year on nutrition and healthy lifestyles. In fact, 2 of our board members, our board president and board member Artie Kasakian, are in a Losing It for the Kids challenge. And we are looking forward to our health fair on April 18th. Again, there is a flyer inserted. We hope that you will all join us because that's when the big weigh-off happens. Kind of a little sidebar is that we have decided that we're going to try and get Glendale to lose a ton of weight. So, and Artie and Brian have started us off together. They've lost over 75 pounds. And we have about 30 other people that are involved. And it's not about the money, it's about a healthy community. So, want to lose a ton for the kids. Finally, we are finding that in addition to asthma, which is there's a high prevalence, and we have an asthma education program. We also are finding that nutrition, people are not quite aware about what is good nutrition. And so we have started a nutrition counseling program. We have a registered dietitian who is providing pro bono services for both family and children in nutrition. So Glendale Healthy Kids is addressing the needs of the community as we continue to grow and expand from our original 2 staff members and 5 schools to 4.5 staff members and 40 schools in 5 communities. I thank you very much for the support that we receive from the Commission and all of you in helping us reach that goal. If you'd like to find out more, I do an informational breakfast the second Friday of every month, and everyone's invited. Questions?
Thank you. Questions, Commissioners?
Where's
Lamel?
the breakfast held?
The breakfast, there's a little flyer in your packet. It is held here in Glendale. We have a gentleman who donates his conference room and donates a continental breakfast for us on the second Friday of every month. I've included the April flyer because I know how busy you all are, so I did not include the March flyer, but it is regularly scheduled. We have it, rain, shine, if anybody's coming or not. So please join us. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Would you, Camille, repeat the health fair information?
The health fair is April 18th. It will be from 9 to 2. This is the first year that we are doing a children's health fair. Y'all have probably been to health fairs where you can get your blood pressure checked and you can get flu shots and all kinds of great things for adults. Ours are going to be tests, screenings, specifically geared towards children. And we're collaborating this year with the YMCA. So we'll have about 60 booths. They will have the fun, athletic, Y-type booths, games, etc. We will be having things like anemia screening for children, scoliosis screening, retinal screens, as well as the USC Mobile Dental Clinic will be doing dental screening, height, weight, blood pressure checks for children, everything for the kids. So please come and join us. And if you have children in your life, anywhere from, the teeny tiny ones to the 19 and 20-year-olds, bring them along.
And that would all be free.
That is all free.
At the YWC.
It will be at the YMCA. Actually, it will. You can't miss it because we're closing Louise, and so it will be on the corner of Louise and Wilson. Rain or shine. Rain, it'll be in the Baptist Church, but we're planning on a great turnout. Lots of information for parents.
Right.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you, Camille. I think everybody in the city knows what a great job Glendale Healthy Kids does for all the children in our community, and you're fabulous, and you do an enormous job. I know.
It's a little joke. I do everything in heels, so I did the dash in 2-inch wedge sneakers.
Really?
Yes.
Anyway, thank you, ladies,
Thank you.
for a fabulous job. You did.
Thank you. Thank you, Camille. Thank you. Our next speaker is Sally Miles.
Thank you very much. Good evening. I'm here from the Glendale Unified School District, Student Support Services, Safe and Drug-Free Schools. And I'm here actually to thank Lana Haddad and the Commission for its participation with Yellow Ribbon Week. And Yellow Ribbon Week occurs annually the week of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday anniversary. It is dedicated to nonviolence and to peaceable campuses and peaceable communities. At the school sites, they do a variety of activities that usually, especially at the high schools, the students help to plan. They have assemblies, they have speakers, they do essay contests, and they also do pledges to nonviolence. And a very big part of the Yellow Ribbon Week activities at our schools has become, sponsored through the Commission, the Hands and Words Are Not for Hurting project. And from the Commission, we have received stickers for the elementary school students, pins that the middle school and especially high school students absolutely love and collect, brochures, and then the hands that they use for pledges. And a big part of Yellow Ribbon Week are the pledges that the students make from elementary all the way to high school about nonviolence. in addition to that, that message of nonviolence, of course, is through the Hands and Words Are Not for Hurting project, is taken at different levels, of course, with the students, so that by high school, they're also looking at, of course, sexual harassment and domestic violence as issues that they are considering. So what we would like to do, and I would like to present to the Commission, this certificate of appreciation, and I will read it to you. Glasses on. For their this is a certificate of appreciation for their participation in Glendale Unified School District's 2009 Yellow Ribbon Week with the Hands Are Not for Hurting campaign. This certificate is presented to the Commission on the Status of Women, and these flowers, by the way, are yellow ribbon daffodils.
Oh.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that, and it's our pleasure and part of our mission to be a part of a program like that, and we're very proud of it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Really.
Commissioners, anyone else have a comment?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Our final speaker is Sharon Weissman.
Thank you, Chairwoman Devine and Commissioners, and anyone listening. I'm Sharon Weissman, and I'd like to invite everyone to the Glendale Peace Vigil's next film forum. We're showing Gaza Strip on Friday, March 13th at the Glendale Central Library. That's at 222 East Harvard in Glendale at Louise. The doors open at 7 p.m. There will be an audience discussion after the film, moderated by host of radio station KPFK's Middle East in Focus, Don Bustani. It's free, although we welcome donations to help defray the cost of renting the library. And there will be information from other community groups and light refreshments, books, films, T-shirts, and more for sale. This documentary by James Longley focuses on ordinary Palestinians rather than politicians and pundits. It provides a candid realism of the cinema verite style, presented without narration. It is in Arabic with English subtitles. It's more observation than political statement, and it offers a rare look inside the Gaza Strip, stark realities of life and death under Israeli military occupation in 2001, although the situation in Gaza is not any better than 2001. And I have some flyers regarding it for you. And on the back of the flyer, we've printed an article from Robert Shear, a former LA Times columnist, about the Gaza situation. And also, the lavender sheets are an article from Common Dreams. As you know, Robert Shear is no longer in the LA Times, and the LA Times is shrinking, so we need to find new media sources, and I recommend Common Dreams, an online digest that brings English language material from around the world, to give us more information than we get in our mainstream U.S. press. So I recommend Common Dreams also. And thank you very much for your time. We hope to see everybody who would like to join us on
Sharon, can you give us
Friday, March 13th at 7 p.m. at the library. Thank you very much for your
Great.
time.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Next item, please.
Next item on the agenda is consent items. Agenda item 4A, approval of the minutes of the regular commission meeting held February 9th, 2009.
Okay, are there any amendments to the minutes? Okay, can we have a motion that they stand as written?
I second.
I so move.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Their unanimous consent.
Is there unanimous consent?
Yes.
Next item on the agenda, agenda item 5A1, the CSW Master Calendar of Events. 5A1A, motion providing direction regarding the master calendar.
This item is open for discussion. Do we have any comments or changes, additions to the calendar? Questions? I noticed that on the 11th, we have the ACCW teleconference at 4 p.m., and I'd like to have some sort of confirmation if Commissioner Walker or Sobey have been contacted about that, and since you are a delegate and alternate.
I sent a reminder email today for the commission. Any one of the
Okay.
commissioners is welcome to
Oh,
attend.
okay.
The delegate will need to report back to the entire commission in April.
Perfect, okay. Anything else? Let's see. Anything else that you want to add or question?
June through September, are there any Health Month observations that we'll be attending to? Didn't notice there was anything.
There's nothing scheduled yet, so
okay.
it's 1 month at a time, I'm
Month,
feeling
yes.
like.
Okay.
Time, yeah. I have a question about, can we find dates for different health fairs in the community so that perhaps we can, I notice we have World Osteoporosis Day in October. Perhaps before then we can do something concerning our osteoporosis focus before then. We may have be able to get a speaker. And if there is a health fair before then, the reason I'm mentioning this is because when I went to the DASH yesterday, and I thought, gee, it would have been a perfect time for us to have the osteoporosis information there, and that one kind of slipped by. It happened kind of fast. So I'm thinking that perhaps in the future months we can, if there's something going on, we'll know about it and be prepared to present.
I'd like to mention that May is actually the National Osteoporosis Awareness Month. That is correct. This is the world one, so.
Okay, okay. So maybe, well, if we get some dates, Ms. Haddad, if you can maybe look into that, and then we'll.
We do have May listed as Bone Health
Month,
It's
yes.
the same.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's also a citywide employee health fair. That might be one place.
Yes.
But I can
What
also
month
look.
is that? Do you know?
I believe it's May.
Oh, perfect, okay.
Ms. Cordova, is that correct? Do you remember? April? Okay, so April or May. And then we can also look for community ones sponsored by the hospitals or local health groups.
Okay, and then maybe we can put those in on the calendar so that we're kind of thinking ahead, or have them in front of us. Okay, thank you. Right? We can accept the, do I need a motion for the calendar? Okay, then we'll accept this calendar. And next item, please.
Next item on the agenda is consideration and approval of sponsorship for Seroptimus International of Glendale Bras for a Cause event, with 2A being a motion to providing direction regarding sponsorship of the Bras for a Cause event for 2009.
I think all of us know how important this event is and how popular it is, and of course the fact that it donates so much money to our local hospitals for cancer facilities and programs. And the Commission has always, in the past, supported this cause. So do any of you, would you like to suggest a plan of action?
I just have a question of the, well, I guess the level of sponsorship will allow any of us that would like to attend to be able to go?
Well, if we do if you look on the sponsorship and advertising opportunities, if we do a silver sponsorship, we'll get 2 tickets, half-page ad and 2 tickets. So we could do 500. I would think that our budget would allow us easily to do 500, and I think that's what we normally do.
And that's actually what was approved in the budget that came to the Commission initially.
Okay, so if I can get a motion then to donate for sponsorship $500 and to Seroptimus International of Glendale for Bras for a Cause.
Before we do
Commissioner
that,
Lamel?
Yes, I would like to know before we do that if how many commissioners were interested in going and maybe just purchase tickets as opposed to the half-page ad.
Well, the ad seems, gives visibility to the commission, and that seems to be more important, having that there than necessarily how many people are going, because, of course, any of us can go on our own, too.
I agree. And I'm not opposed to buying a ticket if we get this, the $500 ad sponsorship.
Well, let me just say this. The half-page ad is $100. So if we did that, and then you still can get more than 2 tickets if you separate it out. Instead of going as a silver sponsor, you can still purchase the half-page ad for $100 and then get at least 4 to 5 tickets at $75 each. And that would still be within your budget. Very close to it.
Well, I think we've always been, we kind of like to be a silver sponsor listed in the program as a sponsor. I think that's a special,
Well, I have a question, Chair Devine.
Yes.
In terms of the history of the commission in the past, let's say 3 years, what has been the history in terms of support?
we've always done a
It's always
sponsorship.
500.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
No,
It's always been a
we've never
sponsorship.
gone above that or below that.
I don't remember. I just know that we get the, usually the lowest sponsorship level
Okay.
because of our budget, of course.
So,
Go ahead, Mr. Manasarian.
so the sponsorship would give us more visibility as opposed to, more, I guess, for lack of a better word, visibility than an ad, you feel?
From what I read,
What would be the difference?
it's the same. It's still an ad, and you could still say the commission supports the organization. We don't need to be listed as necessarily silver sponsor. It just means we don't. We only get 2 tickets.
So what you're advocating is that we do a half-page ad and then the commission buys tickets for...
4 tickets.
4 tickets?
We would still be spending $500.
Well, the only thing is that when you buy the ticket, a certain percentage goes to paying for the food, like $25 or
I see.
$35
Okay.
goes for
That
paying
makes
for the
sense.
food. So that's $25 or $35 that doesn't go to the cause. So I think it's a decision whether we want to support the cause or pay for the food.
Well, if we go if there's more of us going, there's more of us that can participate in the auction, and that's where the most of the money's really from, not so much from the $500 sponsorship. If you bid $200 or $300, if 4 of us did that each, we're really contributing more money that way.
Right,
So
but
think-
I don't know that we can guarantee that we're all going to spend $200 or $300
But when I
on an
was
auction
there,
item.
it's very easy to do that.
Right.
What I'm saying is that I think we would have a little more participation as a group. Also, those that have not gone before have an opportunity to see what it's like.
Right now, can I ask a question?
Commissioner Walker?
Okay. How many commissioners are interested in going? Because if there's only a few, then
That's what I'm
it's a
saying.
moot
Can we
point.
just find out first
Yeah.
before we make a decision on how we want to participate in that?
And also, Chair Devine, with regards to what Commissioner Lamel is saying, in terms of, having the ad as a half page and having more bodies in terms of commissioners, I think in terms of our visibility and in terms of, the commission really being known, I think it's important that we get ourselves out there. I'm more for that
Right.
personal
Well,
interaction, yeah.
I agree with that. I would be willing to buy my own ticket. I would rather them get the $500 as a sponsorship and have it free and clear, and then if some of us want to go and we're not getting the comp ticket, I'll be glad to donate $75 for a ticket. So besides myself and Commissioner Manasarian?
I would like to add, too, that I would like to buy I wouldn't mind buying my own ticket and going and doing the sponsorship as well. So if there's
So how
any...
many people are attending?
I'm interested in going.
Yeah.
When is
So-
it?
April 18th.
I'll be gone.
So right now, do you want to do the count, Chair Devine?
Okay. How many commissioners?
Commissioner Devine, or Chair Devine, rather, just want to point out that in the past, the funds that the Commission has, the budget has been allocated for programmatic purposes and not necessarily allocated for the benefit of any of the commissioners to attend functions. I understand with the Seroptimists, you've partnered with them in the past, so when you allocate the money in your budget, the $500, I think it was intended that it be spent for sponsorship purposes and not necessarily for the benefit of individual commissioners attending a function. I think utilizing it for that purpose would be inconsistent with the manner that you've utilized your funds in the past. Something to consider.
As far as Petian, I think that puts the issue at rest.
Chair Devine, remember, any of us could decorate a bra, and the theme this year is Bras Go to Work.
Correct.
So there's a lot of creativity there, potentially.
Right. Okay.
I just want to share a comment as well regarding what Ms. Varpatian mentioned. Okay, I know that when we allocate, certain funds, and we got to follow, like, precedents and the history as to what we've done in the past and so on. But at the same time, I don't want the commission to be kind of bottled in what we've done in the past, because there's new realities that's emerging and different commissioners and so forth that, we need to consider. And for instance, I'm thinking about the budget. I know for the Jewels of Glendale that Commissioner Lamel and I are heading, we are kind of concerned about, the funds coming in, because it's recession and, all those, consideration. I do support these activities and these programs, but sometimes there's circumstances that's beyond our control, or circumstances that change from one commission or year to another, and I just want to, share my comment regarding that.
Thank you. Well taken. Okay.
Chair Devine, just one final thing in terms of considering any future impacts or ramifications of the decision that you take here tonight. When the Commission raises funds, it specifies programmatic expenses. So that's something that you might want to consider when making your decision tonight, that when you request funds from the public and people donate thinking it's going to pay for a program, that how the perception in the public's eye with regards to if then tickets are purchased for individual persons on the Commission, as opposed to being spent on programs. And that's something that I think that Ms. Varpetian was trying to bring to light as well, just
Right.
did it in legal language, so.
Yes, right.
You're very, very
Yeah.
smart.
I do have a comment to that, though. It's not so much we're going for entertainment purposes. It's also to continue to spread the awareness, also to talk about what the Commission does. An ad doesn't tell people what the Commission really does. And so I don't think that it takes away from contributing to the program. And I've known other commissions, and not everybody follows the same sort of format. I know this is what's been going on before, but doesn't mean we shouldn't be open to change.
Right. Right. Would we like to take a vote on this, on how we want to handle it? Do I have a motion on the Bras for a Cause?
I move that we spend $500 as a sponsorship for the Bras for a Cause event.
I have a second.
Second that.
Shall we take a vote?
Commissioner Katafian?
Yes.
Commissioner Lamel?
Yes.
Vice Chair Manasarian?
Yes.
Commissioner Pillsbury?
Yes.
Commissioner Sobey?
Yes.
Commissioner Walker?
Yes.
Motion passes. Oh, Chair Devine.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That will end that item. Next item, please.
Next item on the agenda is Agenda Item 5A3 with an update on Sex Assault Awareness Month activities for 2009, and with 3A being a motion providing additional direction regarding Sex Assault Awareness Month activities.
Okay, do you want to give us last time we had a discussion on whether to march or not to march?
March or not to march?
March
That is
or not
the
to
question. And the direction was March, so we're marching.
Yes, we are marching, all right.
I have had conversations with the YWCA, and pursuant to the Commission's desire and the symbolic value in marching and including City Hall in the activities, and also trying to meet the needs of the YWCA to have the march begin and end at the Y for mobility reasons, for parking reasons. They've actually arranged with R.D. White to have additional parking in the back lot behind the YWCA, so that alleviates the parking situation for them. The march route, as outlined in the report, will begin at the YWCA, cross Glendale going east, go south on Glendale Avenue, and end up at City Hall. At City Hall, we'll have a self-defense portion and also some speakers, and then from there, the march will proceed back to the YWCA for the clothesline reception, closing comments, and then also the additional survivor art and all the other good stuff that happens that night. So that way we've incorporated all the different desires of both the Commission and the YWCA, and we're marching. So that's the march. Additionally, the mayor has very generously been committed in his resolve to support the Commission, and as such is presenting a resolution declaring April Sex Assault Awareness Month and April 22nd as Denim Day in Glendale. He'll be presenting that to the chair and the vice chair on March 24th at 6 p.m. All commissioners are welcome to attend and receive the resolution with the chair and the vice chair. That is April 22nd. And then finally at this point, we have Denim Day in LA and in Glendale, April 22nd. For the past few years, the Commission has sort of sponsored Dollars for Denim. And Dollars for Denim is a fundraising campaign. All the funds raised go directly to Peace Over Violence to support their programs. Employees have been paying, and members of the public, we've had several come in to give their dollars to pay. They wear their denim to work. We have the imprimatur of the city manager and his support, so we go forward, pay our $5, and all the money gets donated to Peace Over Violence for their anti-violence campaigns.
Good. Commissioner Pillsbury?
Do you extend that to the schools, the Denim Day and the $1 for Peace Over Violence?
We've tried before. We haven't gotten a very strong response, and the logistics of kind of coordinating. The YWCA is short on staff right now. We're short on staff right now, and then we're also, trying to coordinate all of that. So we don't have a point person really who could coordinate it at the high schools, and we've got, I would say, over 6,000 high school students. I mean, it's a great source of awareness. So it would be something that I'd love to explore further with the district and come back maybe, let you know what the word is in March.
Great.
If there's more interest on the commission from everybody with that.
Actually, may I?
Yes, Commissioner Manasserian.
Actually, since I'm a member of the collaborative, Glendale Healthy Start Collaborative, I think I can bring that in there and as a GUSD representative.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
Well, and
For that.
okay, that's good. That's very good. And maybe we can ask our student ex officios to perhaps get your schools involved. Do you understand what Denim Day is all about?
Well, do you basically pay or to wear denim, and then the money goes to this organization?
Ms. Haddad, do you want to explain Denim Day to the girls from the beginning of the trial?
From the beginning of the incident. Okay,
yes,
so
and to our viewers as well, so that everyone knows.
Yes. In Italy, about 13 years ago, there was a rape case that went before the Italian Supreme Court. And the justice there decided that because the woman was wearing jeans and it would clearly be too difficult for her to be raped without her consent because it took some effort to get the jeans off, he let loose a convicted rapist in Italy. So the women first in the Italian parliament heard about it and as protest wore denim into the parliament chambers. That idea spread. The women of the California legislature did the same thing, and from there it came down through Peace Over Violence to Los Angeles. And Patty Giggins and Peace Over Violence, formerly known as the LA County Commission, the LA Commission on Assaults Against Women, then took it and became first a citywide, then countywide, and then pretty soon it's now actually a nationwide event. So it's something that we've continued. We've done it for the past 4 years running. And we've raised over $2,500 that we've donated to Peace Over Violence, just with the city employees.
And my thought right now is for the two of you, if you just take that idea and the concept to your schools, not attach any financial burden to anyone, just encourage everyone at school to wear denim on that day. And why? Because I think that's very important. Because there is no excuse for violence. And for someone to say that the girl asked for it or her jeans were so tight that, she had to consent is wrong. And I think for you to get a program like this started or a concept like this started at your schools would be one step for the good.
I mean, I think since Peace Over Violence realizes that oftentimes students are wearing denim every day to school, we have buttons that we that we can give to everybody. So once you collect your money, people have a button to wear and put on their backpack to sort of raise awareness about it.
Oh, so they could actually charge $1 or donation?
$2 suggested donation for students. We won't turn away anything. So.
Okay, so if you'd like to do that, I think would be a good.
I even think
project.
the club that I started for women's issues. I think we could definitely incorporate this into the month of April, and maybe even try to target clubs at different GUSD schools that might want to take part with CV
Great.
on doing this. So I think. By talking to their ASBs and having our ASBs involved too, we could raise a lot of money.
Perfect. I think that would be wonderful if you tried that. It would be great. How do you feel about that?
I think that'd be really awesome, and I'd be really down to make some posters, get creative with this stuff. And I also have this thing called morning meeting on Fridays, and I'd be really happy to present this as a big announcement over to my whole school, and I can even pass some posters around and all around La Cañada and stuff.
Okay. Now, perhaps next month's meeting in April, you could come back with a report on what you've done, the progress that you've made, or the steps that you've designed to get the programs in your schools.
All right, cool. And this is April 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes. Ms. Haddad?
There actually is also a website with downloadable materials that I will send out to the entire commission. That way you don't have to start from scratch.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Okay. And at the last meeting, we had discussed a special project for the march, either an essay contest or the making of placards. And I think, Commissioner Walker, you were going to work with the girls on that one. Has anything?
We haven't met because we're trying to finalize the Jewels of Glendale. Mm-hmm. But one of the things that we want to discuss before this is the event of doing some posters with slogans and so on, making it a contest, and then having those. I know we discussed that informally before or after the commission meeting last time, and having those placards maybe put on lawns of city offices or partner organizations and so on.
So perhaps after the Jewels is over, we'll still have a month to work on that because April 22nd. So we can all do that. Great, thank you, Commissioner Walker. Okay. Anything else, commissioners? Okay. Next item, please.
Next item on the agenda is Agenda Item 5A4, an update from the 5th Annual Jewels of Glendale Planning Committee. 4A being a motion providing direction regarding the 5th Annual Jewels of Glendale. Hard to believe, but we're about 2.5 weeks away.
I know.
And it'll go to co-chairs Lamel and Walker.
Commissioners, who would like to go first?
Okay.
Walker?
Yes, sir. As you know, we've already chosen our wonderful Women of Courage Jewels of Glendale awardees. And also we've started passing out some of the posters. And I just want to show, this is the poster, the blown up poster that I've started distributing in some of the places. And also you will be getting your own copy. Okay. And we would like to congratulate Dr. Juanita Watts, the Regional Women's Health Coordinator for Kaiser Permanente, and Ms. Louise Garside, CEO and founder of LKG CMC Inc., which is a consulting management company, and they are our 2009 Jewels of Glendale. Also, we want to thank Commissioner Lamel for coordinating the printing of these wonderful posters, and you're going to be getting copies of those posters, and they were free, so didn't cost us anything, and that's good for our budget.
Great.
In terms of some of the logistics, we've talked with Ms. Haddad regarding the program book, which will include the congratulatory letters from a lot of the VIPs, and that's wonderful because it's not just going to be limited to the city of Glendale, but we're including, other cities as well, and hopefully they'll give us greater visibility. And I believe we have about a request for about 15 to 20 of these VIP congratulatory letters. And many VIPs who are already RSVPing. We're in the process of getting the bids for the program book, and what we want to do is a 4x4 color in the cover, and then all the ads. The interior will be black and white, and I know that the last time we talked, we were undecided, so I needed direction regarding the quantity. How many are we going for, Ms. Haddad?
In terms of the program?
Yes.
Well, generally, it's about the same as your ticket sales, so we've always gone for about 300, but we're expecting 350 this year.
Okay, so because in terms of the code, how many? So we should
Last
get
year
about
was 300.
350?
Yeah, this year I would imagine you want to go 350.
Yeah. Okay. And we're also making this souvenir program book really special for this year. It's our 5-year anniversary. We're going to be including pictures of the commission, the current commission, commission in action, some of the activities that we've done, the partners that we have, and so on, so that it's really going to be a good souvenir program. And I know that we've also gotten several sponsorships, and I'd like to turn the microphone to Commissioner Manasarian to thank our wonderful sponsors at this point. And there's several more, I think, that's coming.
They're still coming, yeah. Thank you, Commissioner Walker and Commissioner Lamel, for organizing this, and everyone else who's really chipped in and helped. And I'm very excited to announce that we have around 15,000 or more in sponsorship right now. But I'd like to recognize some of our sponsors. I'd like to start with, should I start?
Yes, please.
By naming them. Ruby sponsors for $500 would be Carl Walker from Reinhold Industries. We'd like to thank Carl and his company for being our Ruby sponsor. And would like to thank Mona Marcos of Aflac, who's our Emerald sponsor. And that's $1,000. Thank you very much, Mona. And also Glendale Memorial is our Emerald sponsor for $1,000. And we would like to thank you, Glendale Memorial. And Denise Miller of GAMC, Glendale Adventist Medical Center, she was here a minute ago. $2,500 Sapphire sponsor. We'd like to thank Glendale Adventist for their sponsorship and everything they've done for our commission. And our diamond sponsors, our $5,000 sponsors are the LKG Consulting Management Company and also Kaiser Permanente. So those are our two main diamond sponsors so far. So we'd like to thank all of you for coming forward for all our sponsorship and supporting the commission. And we have more coming, and we're very excited about this, Jules, and we hope to see you all at our program. Thank you very much.
Vice Chair Manasarian, I'm sure we've attempted sponsorship with the Seroptimus and their Bras for a Cause, which will be after our event, so they'll want publicity as well.
Yes, I'm sure they'll come.
Okay, great.
They usually
Good.
do. We're working
They
on it.
usually do.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, and how many hospitals do we have in Glendale?
We have three.
Three. Okay, so 2 out of the 3, and here's a shout out to another one.
I've talked to Jennifer at Verdugo, and
Verdugo
she's
Hills.
checking
Hello.
with them. She's checking now. We'll hear from them.
Thank you, yes.
Thank Commissioner Walker and Commissioner Manasarian for doing such a great job. I'd like to also report that we do have the entertainment secured, and that will be the jazz musician we had last year, Mark Felton, and he is going to give us a really great deal, and he's working on possibly providing some free CDs for part of our either silent auction or as swag. I also was able to get an advance copy of a wonderful cookbook. It's called Eating Well in Season, the Farmer's Market Cookbook. This book will not be released until April of 2009, but they are willing to provide everyone that attends our event a copy of the book, and we will get a few signed copies for silent auction purposes. The book is going to really complement the farmers market we have here in Glendale every Thursday from 9:30 to 1:30, because the cookbook, what it does, it talks about bringing local produce into your home and how to cook it. So it's really a great way to support our farmer markets around the locally with a book that is geared specifically for what you can purchase at the farmers market. So I'm really excited about that. I think that's going to be a great addition to our topic, which is women's health is a top priority. So it's a great, works within our theme. So we're really happy about that. And we also will have donations of floral arrangements for our Jules awardees as well as our honorees. And I'll have more information about that, but we are getting a lot of in-kind services, which we really appreciate. And we thank those that are helping us and supporting us in the whole event.
Chair Devine, we also have silent auction item baskets being contributed, so those continue to come in.
Yes, I will, give an update on
And
that.
I think we have to mention also Helen McDonough at Massage Envy, who is donating half-hour massages to everyone that comes to the luncheon. So that's going to be very nice as well. So we encourage everybody. We're all going to need them after this. But
Plus, she's rolling out
Yes.
hot stone massages.
Ooh.
That's something that she's offering.
all righty.
That's good.
Okay. Commissioner Walker?
Yeah, just an update on the PR. We're also getting quotes for either a postcard or the gallery card, but I know it's kind of late in time, so we're not going to be expending as much as we've done in the past. So I've gotten a quote for 5x7 color in front for 100 copies for about $51. And there's another option for the same 5x7 color in front and UV coating for 250 copies for $78.30. So we kind of need direction as to what the commission would like.
So one was for 100 copies and the
100
other was?
for $51
Uh-huh,
and 250 for $78.
Okay. These would be cards that we could actually
Yeah.
send to our friends, give to our friends so that they
VIPs
can,
and
VIPs.
also...
Okay, so let's see, there's 7 of us. Would we like to, does anyone have a comment on that? How many you think, 100 or 200?
I think 250 would be more
250?
appropriate, yes.
And the difference is
value,
really
yeah.
minimal between the
Yes,
two.
I
Yeah.
think so too.
Better value.
Okay, so it's consensus.
And
that
everything's, set. So that's the next thing that we're going to be doing. And then we'll coordinate with Ms. Haddad to send it to the offices here, and then each of the commissioners to please send it out. We don't want any of those postcards to be in our, garage or offices. We want them out, sent out. And also in terms of the posters, I've already handed them out. One is with our partner, Color Me Mine in Montrose. It's a pottery store, and they're wonderful. They put our poster right in front of their glass, showcase and so on. And it's really difficult getting, these merchants
Yes.
to put such a big
right.
poster, but they're wonderful partners, and, they want to donate for the auction and so on. So I really want to make special mention and thank you to Color Me Mine. The other one is in Salo Salo, which is a Filipino restaurant here in Glendale. It's on the Maryland Marketplace, so it's a good strategic location too, while people are kind of going, watching movies, and it's there in front. So those are really 2 good places. And I've sent out additional ones. So if we can target like those strategic places, that would really be helpful. And I don't know if we can put some like here in city offices, or I don't know what's the...
I think those are sort of big for display on city grounds, but the smaller postcards we can have, there's a slot downstairs in the city clerk's office where you get a lot of traffic.
Okay. Can we have one like when people enter here in the corridor, or like have a
Easel.
Easel, yeah.
I can certainly check with the city manager.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay.
Yes,
And maybe
and
another
I-
one for Glendale Unified. I think when Philam Kiwanis had a walk before, we had a big poster and they put it in front. That was really very helpful. So maybe Commissioner Manasarian can check with
I will check.
Well,
Glendale Unified.
I think what we can do, Commissioner Walker, is each one of us can take 2, let's say 2, and make sure that they're strategically located at different parts of the city, and we'll discuss that at the end of the meeting. Okay?
Okay, great. Also, we want to thank Glendale News Press for a wonderful partnership with us in providing us in-kind donation in terms of advertisements. They are our in-kind sponsor for the level of diamond level, so they're going to be, printing some of our posters, announcements, and so on. Another partner that we have is, and who's also going to be covering the event, I have confirmation from Film Nation and then Asian Journal, and we want to also allocate funds to get advertisement for Asian Journal, which is part of our budget, and then some, or a lot more than some, would be in-kind donation. Okay. And we want to be able to target the other ethnic newspapers, so we need, connections from the commissioners in terms of, reaching out. So if there's other commissioners here who have contacts with other local newspapers, then we ask for who would have contacts.
Yeah, I could try to get in touch with several Armenian newspapers and magazines.
And I know, again, from my experience with Film Kiwanis, the Armenian television showcased us, so maybe if we can do that before the event.
I have a contact there.
Yes.
I do too. Okay.
So those are
talk.
potential options. But we want to really target the different ethnic groups. So if we have the Film community, we have the Armenian, we have, the white population. What are the other key ethnicities that we're not?
Well, I have a list, and I'll share that with you later.
Great. Okay. And the other thing is the Glendale Community College, the marquee that Commissioner Manasarian and Chair Devine bought through the Rotary silent auction, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yes. So
Yeah.
Commissioner Manasarian has the information, so
Okay.
she'll
I will
pass
give
that
it to
on,
you.
and we'll get
Yes,
that.
please.
Get the ad on there as soon as possible.
So everybody watch out for that marquee,
For the
Glendale
marquee,
Community College, to get that update. Another areas of PR that we want to do would be online calendars. So, we're going to coordinate that. We want to do e-blasts. We want to do the local newspapers, also some television PSAs or radios. And then the other one is I've created an unofficial Facebook page, okay, for the Commission on the Status of Women, okay, because, that's kind of, the viral networking. So I'll be sending out a link to that so that people can see and people it can be interactive. And there's already several people. I just did it, this afternoon, and several people have already signed up for the cause to follow our organization. Okay, and that's free.
Yeah, and it's very easy to connect and add a friend and keep sending out the flyers and the information, so you'll be able to send it to all your friends, because I'm sure you guys have one.
That's
right?
obviously going to be the first thing I'm going to do.
Right.
Okay, and make sure you invite us as your friends. Okay, add us as your friends. Okay, and wonderful silent auction items. Lisa Allen, Studio One Skincare. And another one, Carla Cohen, Lillian O'Connor, holiday hats and gowns. So really lovely lavender baskets and so on. And our very own wonderful commissioners, Sobi, 9 baskets, and they're all done. This, Commissioner Sobi is the kind of student that you want in your class, okay? Because she provides, the assignments really neatly done and in advance and all that. So a total of about 1,100, okay, for the gift basket frames and children's baskets and so on. And just also quick run through, we have some books, Pilates videos, cooking books, Calvin Klein blouse, decoupage heritage chest, Fast Frames is donating, I think, a painting or a frame.
It's actually a framed mirror.
A frame,
From
okay.
the former Fast Room of Glendale. It's closed now, but Vicki McConnell graciously.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, a financial bag with a Forbes magazine bag, sports items and so on, timeshare for Hawaii, limousine rides, 20-page pre-made scrapbook. So you scrapbookers there, mothers and so on, you don't have time. It's done. It's a labor of love, and it's really, wonderful. Hollywood Bowl blanket, spa treasures, Thomas Kincaid stationery sets and so on. So really a lot of wonderful silent auction. Right. Just a reminder for our commissioners that we're going to have a swag, not swag, but a silent auction basket wrapping event. If we can have, now I have it somewhere here in my to-do list.
Is that some, I was going to ask you if that's something that we can coordinate other than here?
No, I just want to give the date.
Oh.
It's March 18 or March 19. So I just want to see what date would be better for the commission. And that's going to be at my house, and we're going to be putting the baskets.
Okay.
Do we want to have a vote on what date? No.
No, I don't have my calendar. I don't know that
Okay.
anybody can do that right now.
Okay.
So we'll just take that in
Yeah,
consideration.
Great. And that everybody should also be there at the venue by 9 o'clock for the setup on the 26th. And also the night before, I know especially for the swags, we're going to be doing that. And we need people to be there probably 6 o'clock. Is it, Ms. Haddad?
I think that'd be fine. One of the things I know the committee had discussed was making sure that the students brought volunteers with you.
Yes. Can you bring as many of your friends?
Because it can be a very tedious job when you're making, 400 swag. And Commissioner Walker would know because she did it all by herself essentially last year. Maybe one other person.
I
helped
was
out.
there as well.
Yeah, Commissioner Lemel.
It was a small group doing a whole bunch of bags, and it's a lot of work. So I think
And we're providing pizza, right?
Can do.
what could go wrong with that, right?
Yes, exactly.
And if we have several volunteers for the actual event, should I just email you their names or get that
Please,
to you?
yeah.
Okay.
We had a concern because it's a school day. That was our major concern.
Several people in my club want to actually help, so we'd be saying it as we'd basically be calling it a field trip, sort of. So we'd have to get approval for that.
Oh, okay.
So
You
And
think you might?
I've worked with other students who needed to come on the day of. So if you let me know, I can email your principal directly, and we can work with her.
Okay,
or
I'll
him.
let you know.
Okay.
And couldn't we provide them with some sort of community service credits?
Yes.
Their
I'm
school
sure,
affords,
yeah,
their school affords that. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
You can sign off on that.
Commissioner Lamel and I are also looking at some of the private school volunteers who are interested in participating.
Okay. Good.
I just have a question with the swags, Ms. Haddad. I know we're going to be setting them up the night before, but is it safe to leave them there?
I believe so. He's going to lock up the room for the event. So once we're there.
Okay.
And what exactly are the dates for helping? And
That would be the 25th, that evening, the evening before, the night before. They're going to let us into Anoush so that we can decorate and put things around, whatever we have to do or can do that night. So that would be the, probably early evening for a few hours.
6-ish.
And that's where we'll put everything together. And then the next day would be at 9 or 10 o'clock, whenever you can arrange for school.
okay.
And then the basket party, either the 18th or the 19th.
Or the
and
19th.
definitely
Just let
you-
Commissioner Walker know what day is best for you.
you
Okay,
ladies
is there
are
anything
invited.
else?
That's it. yeah.
Okay, sounds like you have everything under control. You're doing a fabulous job.
Thank
both
you.
and
It's wonderful
Commissioner
working
Lamel.
with Commissioner Lamel as
Right.
well. And if there's any other questions regarding silent auction, it's crunch time. So, every bit of help, donation, solicitation is really going to help.
I have 4 more donations coming our way.
So the important thing is to remember that the luncheon is on March 26th. The tickets are $75, and it's at 11:30 at Anoush on Glen Oak. So if you'd like to buy tickets, please call 548-4844 and ask for Ms. Haddad, and she can arrange your ticket purchase. And of course, if you'd like to be a sponsor or buy an ad, she can also do that. And the number again, 548-4844. Thank you. Anything else? Next item, please.
Next item on the agenda is 5B, reports information only. There are none. Moving to the next item is commissioner and staff comments.
Okay, shall we go through the commissioners and if you have any comments tonight? Commissioner Katafian?
It was very well organized program that Grace and Commissioner Lamel had prepared. It was really a hard work, and I want to congratulate for this hard work that they have done. And if I can be any help, of course, I'm ready to.
You, Commissioner Lamel?
I would just like to say that looking forward to the Jewels of Glendale, and also want to remind the audience out there that we also have student tickets available for $35. So we do want to encourage our young population to also participate, and we hope to see everyone there on March the 26th. Thank you.
Commissioner Manasarian?
Yes, and I'd like to actually make an announcement regarding first ever USC Women's Conference, which is going to take place this Friday, March 13th, from 8 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. at Davidson Conference Center at USC. And general admission is $65, and young alumni and students are $50. But this is supposed to be a wonderful event organized for women. And the conference highlights are the art of being a woman, and the presenter is actually the head of School of Fine Art, Gail Gardner-Roski, and she couldn't be here tonight to make the announcement, but she would have loved to be here. And financial empowerment, keys to improving your life and your community for women, and also hot topics in women's health, which is in line with what we're doing here at the Commission, achieving personal and professional success. So I will encourage everyone to attend if they can. It's this Friday, March 13th, from 8 to 2:30 p.m., and if you'd like more information, Grace Sheba is the person in charge, and her number is 213-740-4937. Again, her number is 213-740-4937. You could also go to USC website and look at the information there. Thank you.
Commissioner Pillsbury?
I just wanted to thank the speaker on stroke. I learned a lot, and I hope that everybody else did too. It's something that we really need to be more aware of. And the idea of something coming on suddenly, and you suddenly have to go to the hospital, is an important thing for us all to keep in mind.
Commissioner Sobey?
I wanted to remind our viewers that the Glendale Mayor's Prayer Breakfast is this Thursday morning, the 12th. Doors open at 6:15. It'll be at the Glendale Civic Auditorium, and tickets can be purchased at the door.
Mr. Walker?
Just reminding everyone that March is Women's History Month, and we want to remember and commemorate all the wonderful achievements that women have done. And as part of the Commission on the Status of Women, we're really privileged to be part of that ongoing progress towards women's equity and elimination of all forms of violence and discrimination. Thank you.
Mr. Malakian?
I wanted to mention that I saw a powerful noise on Thursday, and we had gone with a few of the members from my club, and we had went with our advisor too, and I thought it was a really great documentary. It was about 3 women in different areas, not only fighting racial prejudice too, that was involved in it too, and then also gender inequality and poverty, and it basically, the discussion afterwards combined all these different issues and said the effect that they have on gender inequality and how, they go hand in hand. And also this month was just, I was thrown with different women's issues. I felt that all I was dealing with was women's issues. And I wanted to thank all of you because I kept thinking about the Commission and what influence you guys are having on our community and on our young adults. It truly is. You guys have a huge influence on especially me. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Our pleasure.
I just want to, first of all, I want to commend Commissioner Walker for jumping on the technological boat by making a Facebook page. I'm definitely checking that out as soon as I get internet. And I'm just really glad that like this month is going to be filled with a lot of events and a lot of planning and I'm pretty sure for Talara and me it's going to be a huge month for us, especially since there's going to be so much stuff. I mean, I wrote like 1 million notes on this page, and I'm definitely looking forward to getting my whole school involved, and I'm already thinking of some ideas of, making a Facebook page too about it. So good for youth involvement.
Great. We're awfully glad to have two ex officios that are that enthusiastic and willing to work that hard for the causes. So I wish you both well and good luck, and just have fun doing, bringing about awareness to our community. I'm going to be going to the mayor's prayer breakfast. I'm really looking forward to that. And I was going to announce the time, 6:15 a.m., that the doors open at the Civic Auditorium on Thursday. So hopefully I'll see a lot of you there. Last night, I had the privilege of attending the 6th Pan-Armenian Dance Festival at Glendale High School. And I'm a former dance instructor, and I have to say it was absolutely amazing. It was a glorious program presented by dance studios and organizations here in Glendale. And it consisted of dancers from about 6 years old to 30 years old, and they were fantastic. And I just want to congratulate all the dancers, the instructors who worked so hard with all of these young people, and all their supporters. It was a truly joyous program, and I was so happy to have attended. Don't forget, if you need tickets to the Jewels, to call Ms. Haddad at City Hall at 548-4844. Don't forget, this is International Women's or History Month, and just be proud that you're a woman, and be thankful for all of the wonderful women that have come before us. Eleanor Roosevelt, I made a list. I started, and I thought this is like too many women. But Eleanor Roosevelt, Marie Curie, Rosa Parks, Susan B. Anthony, Rachel Carson. I mean, the list goes on. Be proud that you're a woman, and celebrate the fact. And with that, do I have a motion for adjournment?
A motion that we adjourn.
Do I have a second?
I second.
This meeting is adjourned at 8 p.m.